it up. And we're gonna smash all the walls of hate. From the prison walls to Palestine to the big ass US Mexico border. We're gonna smash all the walls of hate. If I could, I would smash right through this cage too, you feel me? I need y'all on the count of 3 to say smash. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Say yeah. 1, 2, 3, smash!
Where people fed up, joy your system shut up on every day they get to use them now.
She was living in the city with the most geographical space, most abandoned buildings, murder cases, and annual rates. Let go in the climate cold, highest unemployment. Try to swim instead of sink, but economy wasn't buoyant. Poignant observations of the chief of police, appointed by the mayor who betrayed you like content down on coins lit. Backdoor deals, cause the chief is on the board of the new prison and they grease his palms slicker than some ointment. Every life has got about as much a chance of surviving the circumstances. Guessing Joker's coin flip, made an appointment and
Alright, cool. What's up, y'all? We're here at Paid Dues Independent Hip Hop Festival in San Bernardino with one of my favorite artists, Invincible. Invincible, how you doing?
What up, though? It's great to be here, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, absolutely. So Invincible, if you are not familiar, is from Detroit. So what I wanted to know before we get into the Paid Dues Festival is not only what is the hip hop situation like in Detroit, the scene in Detroit, but what's also like the community, the social atmosphere. What are some issues that you could bring about right now on camera?
Detroit is, you know, in a lot of ways where the greatest music legacy in the world exists and has come out of. And additionally, as far as like activism and movement building, is also one of the greatest legacies in the world. And Detroit is definitely on one of the worst of lists for a lot of things, whether it be murder or, you know, joblessness and things like that. But on the other hand, you know, people are making opportunity out of crisis every day. So for every person that's murdered, you know, there's people who are coming together and developing community solutions and alternatives to you know, fight back against violence, but without police, because police are out here killing people too. Or you have a situation where we don't have much access to fresh fruit and vegetables, so people are growing their own food, you know, or we don't have a lot of jobs. So I'm part of this whole coalition now where people are learning how to make their own media and learning how to start their own businesses as media makers, you know. So there's all these different incredible initiatives taking place in the midst of like great crisis, you know, like whether it be, like I said, the murder rate and the joblessness, or whether it be the school closings, or the mayor trying to displace people from various neighborhoods. But people are so resilient in our city, you know, it's a lot of steadfast resilience in our city.
Very awesome, very awesome. So have y'all been, has hip-hop played a big part in galvanizing the community out there?
Hip-hop is a big part of the movement in the city, in the sense that, you know, hip-hop keeps people going. And when people have pride in their music and people have pride in their culture, they're going to have pride in their city and want to take a stance to make it better, you know what I'm saying? So as far as like the hip-hop artists out of Detroit, historically, like, you know, we've had some of the most influential artists coming out of the city, whether it be J Dilla or Proof, who was a big influence on Eminem, that is now, you know, obviously one of the most famous artists in the world. And then as far as, you know, from other genres of music, I could go on and on. But within hip-hop, you know, we have like this incredible movement, and there's this community-owned gallery called 5E Gallery that is a community-owned venue where we do a lot of our events. And currently, the city is in this process of rating a lot of community-owned venues, whether it be 5E Gallery or Johansson Charles or Bob's Classic Kicks. There's all these venues where we do community events that are all ages, that are basically, you know, not owned by Clear Channel. And then in recent months, the city's been making it a priority to not solve all these unsolved murders or not deal with all the facts and figures of how corrupt their force is, but to go out and raid these parties. And so they're going into these events and shutting them down and shutting down these venues. I don't know what they're even trying to do. I don't think they're going to make any money off of that. It's like people come to the city to attend these events, and that brings the city money. So those type of venues are hugely important to our community movement, because like a 5E Gallery isn't just a place where we do our Women in Hip Hop event every Tuesday. It's also a place where if someone passes away in our community, we have the wake. You know, like by 10 past, we had the wake there. You know, recently a brother named Hassan was murdered. That's integral to the hip hop community. We had the wake there. You know, or when Finale had his baby shower, we had it there. You know, so it's like birth and death, you know, all our gathering spaces through this community venue, and then we also do our open mics there and hip hop events. So it's like a real community and family atmosphere. And when you have those type of spaces, you're able to then talk about what can we do to solve these larger issues, you know.
Yeah. That's thank you for that insight. So we're here in San Bernardino at the Pay Dues Festival, and we caught your performance, which we loved, and we wanted to say, I found it a little ironic. I don't know if you did. There was a little thing going on with the stage where there was kind of a fence kind of put up around you. So what was that like? Had you ever performed in a situation like that?
You know, once before have I performed in a cage stage. And that was, there used to be this venue in Detroit called Millennium AD, and I'm pretty sure it was formerly a strip club because it was a circle stage and it was surrounded by a cage, and you know, it was hilarious, and you had to walk around the circle to reach the audience. So luckily I'd had that experience before today, but yeah, yesterday I got an email from the Paid Dues Festival saying, you know, we're gonna have this octagon stage, you know, kind of similar to the UFC or whatnot, and because it's the grind time stage, which is an MC battle, and you know, you can't wear your heels, so I was sad about that. But as far as like, you know, the stage goes and it being in the cage, I'm all about connecting with the audience. I'm all about connecting with the listeners, you know what I'm saying, going out, touching people's hands, you know, really being in a personal communication with people, because I'm pouring my heart out to my music, and I know people feel it that way. So for me to have that cage right there definitely wasn't conducive to that as much as I would like. But you know, I went out into the crowd and just, you know, connected with people directly, so that I could overcome that barrier. But on the other end, you know, it was kind of hilarious, and it added a different dynamic. And if I was in better shape, I would have climbed over it and stage dive or something, you know. But yeah, honestly, when they told me yesterday, when they emailed me and told me, I thought it was an April Fool's joke. I was like, are you serious? Like, this is April Fool's? Like, when you popping out? So, yeah, it's hilarious.
Cool. So what projects do you have that you're working on coming up?
The upcoming project that I'm most excited about is I'm working on a full-length album with a producer named Wajid. And Wajid is a Detroit producer I've worked with in the past. And we're doing this project. It's very innovative. It's currently untitled, but we released a 7-inch last summer, Detroit Summer in Emergence. And actually this Thursday, we're gonna be premiering a bunch of songs off the album, along with a multimedia installation, projections, workshop, and all the above at the Detroit Science Center. And the concept of the album is looking at, in a really like just creative, innovative way, complex science and the way social justice movements work. So the way that when we build movements, we're able to approach it from a small scale as opposed to just a mass rally. You're able to approach it from relationships as opposed to like a charismatic leader that you put on a pedestal, you know, and then the CIA assassinates. You know, you're able to actually create a totally bottom-up structure that's not able to be easily destroyed. And so when we look at complex science, there's like a lot of lessons for us as organizers and people who are change makers in our community to really gain and lend itself to our work. So I'm talking about that in the project, and then the beats and the tracks. Like, we're just breaking new genre boundaries. We're not really even just limited to hip-hop anymore. Maybe you call it hip-hop, but hip-hop that's on some futuristic shit. We're not limiting ourselves whatsoever. So that's the project I'm really focused on right now.
Awesome. That sounds great. And one song that I heard of yours, I think it came out last year, was on the Left's album, Gas Mask. That had the song with Statistics, right? Okay. Maybe you could clue me in, because I wanted to know as well. So is the Left, like, are they like a group, or is it one dude, or who is the Left?
The Left is a group that's composed of the producer Apollo Brown, and is featuring a Detroit MC who's been around for a minute. His name is Journalist. He's an incredible MC, and it also features a DJ named DJ Soko. So it's a collective of sorts of a producer, MC, and a DJ, and then they feature various artists on their projects. So, you know, I was honored to be a part of that. Journalist and I have been part of the Detroit hip hop scene for over a decade, and you know, Apollo Brown is an incredible producer. DJ Soko is an incredible DJ. So it was definitely a great project to be a part of. And right around the same time as the Left dropped their album, Apollo Brown also did another project with an MC named Book Brown from Detroit. So Book Brown is a really dope MC that I also worked with. And I actually did one of the songs off her album tonight at the show.
Very cool. So who are you looking forward to catching at the festival today?
Let's see. Here at Paid Dues, I was really excited to see Eternia. She killed it. And I guess I'm looking forward to definitely seeing Dead Prez and see some of their new material. I'm looking forward to see the Black Star Reunion and their new material. Obviously Immortal Technique, that's the homie. These are all cats, you know, I came up with doing shows for over a decade now, and it's just cool to see each other evolve as artists and as human beings. Additionally, some of these up-and-coming cats, like just looking at this, like, additionally, we got Slaughterhouse, you know, Royce the 5'9" from Detroit is on there. We all came up and sang open mics and things like that. So I'm really amped to see them. And Shock G, like, that's one of my favorite artists from when I was a kid. So looking forward to that. Blue, you know, Blue is an incredible MC. Blue and Fashawn, they're really dope. And I guess, who else? I'm looking at this. It's a lot of really dope artists that are rocking today, you know, that have been supporting. Bun B is one of my favorites, you know what I'm saying? Bun B is on the low, you know, he's a supporter of Palestine. Like,
really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A friend of mine works with Bun and showed him, like, the documentary Slingshot Hip Hop, and he was really moved by it, and, you know, definitely supports. My homies Binary Star performed, who I came up with in Michigan, so it's a lot of incredible artists on this festival, and I'm honored to be a part of it. What up, though? This is Invincible representing Detroit, and you are now tuned into Longhorn Hip Hop. Yeah.
So free your mind up. This is a reminder. The United States incarcerates more than they do in China. We only 5% of all the world's pop, but it's 25% of all the world's locked up. So I wonder how to break the cycle. Will it ever stop? If we see people as numbers and we make them check a box.